Hampshire.
Thank you, Madam President. First of all, Madam President, I want to thank the Capitol Police for their bravery and for the important work that they do protecting all of us and the Capitol, and yesterday really showed how important they are. So I want to thank them for everything that they did yesterday to make sure that people were protected. Madam President, this is day 4 of the government shutdown. A shutdown that did not need to happen. And I had hoped when I came to the floor a couple days ago, and I had hoped when I heard that congressional leaders were meeting with the president at his request, that they would have emerged from that meeting with a plan to end this impasse, to get the government open again, to come to an agreement as to how we can responsibly fund the government and address the challenges that we face as a nation. Yet coming out of that meeting, what we got, of course, was a president who says he won't negotiate. We have a strategy that was started from the beginning. I've said it was an ill-conceived strategy by some members of my own party who thought that defunding Obamacare, therefore shutting down the government, would, number one, stop the exchanges from opening, but we know that's not true because it already happened even though we shut down the government. It was ill-conceived because, again, we knew that with the president in the White House and the Senate Democrats in charge, that they were not going to defund their signature piece of legislation, as much as I support repealing that legislation because I've seen the impact already in my own state of New Hampshire in terms of premiums, in terms of less choice for individuals. And I do believe there's a better way to address health care in this country. But where we find ourselves right now is unacceptable for our America. It's unacceptable as leaders that have been elected by the people of this country. We owe it to our constituents to resolve this now. Because on both sides, we need to get together, resolve this, and I would say to my Republican colleagues in the House and to some in this chamber, it's time for a reality check. Defunding Obamacare did not work as a strategy. So let's find common ground and work together, yes, to address the concerns that are very legitimate that we have with this health care bill, but also to get this government funded. And I would say to my colleagues, my Democratic colleagues here in the Senate and the President, yes, come to the table and negotiate. Let's work this out on behalf of the American people. Because I will say it again, I think where we are is an ill-conceived strategy by many in my party, leading to an immature response that we won't negotiate and talk and try to work this out on behalf of the American people. And we all know that the American people are the ones that are suffering the most from this shutdown. I've heard it from our guardsmen in New Hampshire who have been forced to go to the unemployment office, federal employees who wonder whether they'll be able to pay their mortgage, furloughed civilian workers in New Hampshire at one of our proudest military installations in this country, the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, small business owners who can't get the help that they need from the Small Business Administration, and they deserve better than this. I hope, as we head into this weekend, that the President, that the leaders of the House, that the leaders of the Senate, they will get together, that we will get behind them on behalf of the American people, get this government open, resolve our differences, find common ground, and do the people's business. Thank you, Madam President.